If you're using HighLevel, chances are you're doing all of your follow-up all wrong. This is a forever follow-up workflow that's going to put our leads and prospects into an evergreen loop using AI, both call and SMS, so that our follow-up message is very, very customizable and personal to our leads and prospects. So let's just take a couple of seconds to explain the workflow, and then we'll just show you what the setup look like inside HighLevel. Okay, so first of all, guys, we're gonna have a condition to see if this prospects or this lead have booked an appointment from us. Okay, whether they come from Facebook, Google, or they just sitting there in our CRM, we can have this filter opening every time we add a lead into our workflow. It's either a yes or no. Okay, now if the condition is yes, we don't want our AI to be touching these people because they already have an appointment on our calendar. Okay, now if the result is no, what we're going to do is that we're going to deploy both SMS, text-based AI, and calling AI to this contact, right? We're going to do that quite multiple times because we're going to be looping back to the condition, right, in a matter of waiting period. So we're going to do that through a random action. Okay, let's just show you guys what that actually look like in our outgoing forever follow-up. Right now, keep in mind that this workflow is actually one of our free snapshot that we give away in our Skool community, so make sure that you check that out. We're actually giving this for free. So first of all, in this workflow, when a customer reply, which is the main trigger that we use, but again, you can use any other trigger like tag or anything. The first action is a random number. We're gonna assign a random number between 1 and 4. What that means is that gonna give us a random waiting period. You're going to see what that means in a second, right? So once we assign a random number between 1 and 4, we have a condition. Okay, so if the number is 1, they go into here. Number is 2, they go into here. 3, they go into here. And 4, they go into here. So on and so on. Okay, when the number is 2, we waited for 2 days. When the number is 3, we waited for 3 days. So these random number gives the bot or give us a waiting period between 1 to 4. Okay, so if someone texts, sometimes the bot reply in a day, sometimes the bot reply in 4 days. So that's really helping the workflow and the follow-up process to be a little bit random, a little bit inconsistent, so it doesn't feel like a bot. Now, the thing that I don't like about HighLevel workflow or just some of the snapshot that people have been putting out there is have always been like 1 day this text, 1 day this text, 1 day this text. People just feel like this is a very automatic message, and the moment people realize it's an automatic generic message, people just stop respond. Right, we send thousands and thousands of texts, guys. This is the pattern that we see. Okay, so let's just say in this particular lead, the random number land on 2. We're gonna wait 2 days, and then we're gonna have our filter here saying if the appointment have been booked or not. We'll filter based on last appointment is in the next 30 days. Okay, but again, you can change it however you want. If you're in a business like real estate agents and people book appointment months in advance, you can change this to 60 or 90 days. Okay, whatever work in your business. Okay, if the appointment is booked, we actually remove them from the workflow. As you can see here, we remove people from the workflow. If the appointment is not booked, we're using the random number again between 1 to 2. Okay, at this time, if 1, we send them an SMS. If 2, we send them an AI call. So at this stage, we're using 2 randomized action, right, which is the wait time and the actual action. Okay, now if you were to put that into our simple mind map here, we're using the R, which is the random on SMS and AI action, and then we're using the R here, which is a randomized waiting period before we filter people whether they have booked an appointment or not. Right, so just FYI, showing you what that look like in a very simple mind map might help explain in this video. Now if you guys like how I explain stuff or any feedback for me, drop in the comment. I'd like to know how I can become a better content creator and a better coaches for you guys. Okay, so random number 1 or 2, 1 for SMS and 1 for AI. Now making AI call and making AI SMS is a whole separate video itself. You have to create an assistant and hook that assistant to HighLevel and integrate it into a phone number. That definitely need a separate video itself. Now, if you guys want to see that, make sure that you comment the word AI below. Now, again, this whole branch and this whole process actually get repeated. You can see here, with random number landed on 3 for this lead. We waited 3 days. The only difference is the waiting period, right? If they book, we remove them. And then if they haven't booked, we send them to either a random SMS or a random phone call. Now, what happened after the SMS and the phone call is just a go-to action. And you can see here, it's going back to that random number again. So they repeat the cycle. And this is why we call this workflow an outgoing forever follow-up, because it is exactly what it does without having to have a generic bot content inside HighLevel, using very clever, customizable, and personalized AI message and AI phone call. And this is going to be a forever green follow-up, just because that we are gonna consistently adding people into this workflow until they book an appointment or whatever action that you want. Now, obviously, you can control the action based on this filter. Let's say you don't want this to be an appointment filter, you want it to be a reply filter. You can absolutely change this to if the customer have replied in the last 30 days. Right? So if they haven't replied or take a certain action, you can always loop them back into this workflow. So you actually have full control of the action, which is the filter and the condition in the HighLevel setting. So this can really use for a lot of applications. Now, let's say if you are a real estate agent and people have not got a price update from you, or they haven't filled in a certain application, you can absolutely use this as an action and a filter to continue to put people into this loop. And once they have done it, just like the yes, you just have to add a tag that identify that criteria and then remove them from the workflow. Again, this is Vico Kang. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it around to another GoHighLevel expert. That would help the channel a lot. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.